15 degrees, you can see your breath. Out here in the lake effect, breaking tables like it's poetry. Where else would you rather be? Pinto, Ron, Elvis, and the lay poncho. The members that you need to know. 'Cause once you out here now, your family. Where else would you rather be? Where else would you rather be?
Welcome into the Nickel City Crew. I am your host, Rob Crippen. Please like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Nickel City Crew. This episode, along with all of our episodes, are presented by Crippen Legacy Entertainment here on Spreaker and StreamYard. We're so glad that you're joining us for some of your Buffalo Bills and NFL content again today. And as always, these are my Bills thoughts said out loud.
It's a vibe so ridiculous. Since 12 plus 83 was 6. The shout rocking like a symphony. Where else would you rather be?
All right, let's get straight to it. Really excited for tonight's episode. Our Bills are 3-0. Sitting kind of pretty. We're going to talk about that. We'll talk about that. We won't get ahead of ourselves. We're sitting kind of pretty atop the AFC, one of the last three undefeated teams in the conference. And I just was talking to my co-host pre-show and last night a little bit, and I was like, you know what? I think it's time for a vibe check. We're almost a quarter way through the season. No, we got that little extra game now to 17, but almost a quarter way after this week's battle. The Bills, 1 o'clock at the Ralph, hosting the New Orleans Saints. Really excited for it. Joining us tonight, as always, my co-host riding shotgun, Adam Jump Truck Rupsick. Check him out on Instagram and Twitter, at Adam Rupsick, RUPCZYK. Holla at the crew, DT. I wanted a little vibe check tonight. Let's check on the crew. Let's check on the Mafia, see how we feeling, man. What's good?
Poor baby. On the week.
My bad.
We got,
I had you muted.
that
was my bad.
All right.
My bad.
Happy Thursday, Nickel City. What's happening, Rob? Let's rock and roll, baby. We are going into week 4. Kicks off tonight right after us with Cardinal Seahawks, and a nice little slate of college football, golf, and the big stuff on Sunday. So it's a good spot to be in. I like the vibe check because we'll get into it tonight, but I'm feeling good about our vibe, and it really stacks up well. We got to keep stacking these wins. Everything's in our favor here coming up this week, as we'll get into tonight, and just happy to be here. Happy to be in football. Fall next week. It's actually fall now, but October next week. And it's just a good vibe right now. Good vibe right now, Rob.
Yeah, it is a good vibe, and I definitely wanted to talk about it with you. And tonight, I'm really happy because, sometimes on Twitter, and I told you, DT, I feel like a lone wolf out there sometimes because I'm fighting. And what I tell you a couple of weeks ago, I've got the stamina to fight. I don't mind fighting, but I finally found a kindred spirit earlier on in the year, in the offseason. And we have similar views on McDermott and the direction of the offense and things like that. And some of the stuff I like to talk about, and then I fight people about. And when you were gone, we had on my boy Whittle, who is one of my number one, like the public enemy number one for my fights. Listen, my boy Sheed, this is the host of the Mob Files. Really, really happy to have him on tonight. Listen, Sheed, holla at the crew, man. We've been talking for a while. Really happy to have you on. Feel free to share it. It is Mob Files, right? It's the Mob Files. I can't hear you. I can't hear you, Sheed. I can't hear you, fam. Let's get you on now. Let's get you on. Listen, I'm really excited to have you on tonight. We wanted to make sure that we got a chance to kind of chop it up, and I wanted you to help us out with some of the some of the vibes and the vibe check that I wanted to do tonight for sure. So check him out. Listen, this is Sheed. He is the host of the Mob Files. Check him out on Twitter. There we go, at Sheed808. Holla at the crew, Sheed. What's good, man? Holla at the crew.
It's my first time using the platform that you use. Hey, DT, it's good to see you, man. Good to meet you in person. I've been listening to you guys for a while now. Yeah, as Rob Kippen said, I'm happy to be here, man. Glad to join your show. I'm glad to be a kindred spirit with Rob, and hold him down, because he's a logical thinker. You're a logical thinker, and you can be, it's not diametrically opposed. You can have opinions about McDermott that's not favorable, and you can still be a great Buffalo Bills fan. Or, from time to time, you can love McDermott, but you can be able to criticize him when the truth need to be told.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I really appreciate you coming on tonight, like I said, and kind of chilling with us tonight. Listen, it's interesting because I wanted to get a vibe check for sure, because it's funny. Bills sitting at 3-0. They were favored big time last week, and it didn't seem like it was a situation where much could go wrong. But listen, it's the NFL. DT always warns us about that. Miami keeps it close. A 12-point favorite coming to the game. Listen, we were a block punt attempt away with that guy. Siler coming in, DT, from that shit could have gone and got twisted real quick. Game was tied. We're punting the ball back to them, and then they give us that gift. So quickly, we'll touch on Miami, and then we'll move ahead. But last week, I thought it was funny because you were at the game, you were talking, you were live on the scene, and you were telling me how the scene was crazy and everybody seemed to be raucous. And how was it? Because was it weird in there? Because at home, watching it with my Kings, with Nate and Bobby, I mean, I was like, man, I just kept saying the same thing today. I was like, man, this is too close. This is just too close for me. I don't like this.
Yeah, it was close, but in that stadium, like I said, they owed us one. After week one, it was tough because you can never get up, because every time the Ravens had the ball, they were scoring or getting a first down.
Mm-hmm.
This one, you definitely felt the crowd a little more, and we were in it. And when you're in the stadium, it's a little more, I think you're a little more, you're not as like, oh, this is too close. This is straight up like possession for possession, like just wait until 17 goes back out there, get a stop, get 17 back out there. Like you're in that like moment for moment. So yes, I felt the tense. It was tense. It was a tense game, one score the whole time. But, looking back on it, it was too close, but we had opportunities as well. Yes, the roughing the kicker had a lot to do with it and helped us score that last touchdown. Kudos to that. But leading up to that, there was a few times in the first half, the missed field goal, the two possessions we had that, we were moving the ball and then got stalled. And if any of those are points, we talked about it in game, like 24-14 at halftime, then getting the ball going and scoring. It's 31-14 at halftime, like literally within 2 plays of that. So block punt was big, but there was opportunity. We were in control of that game, kind of bended a little too much. And yes, that was uncomfortable, but we were in control and obviously finished it off. And I think that was really, the key the whole night of, yes, in the third quarter, the offense stalled, but so did the Dolphins. We went 3 and out. They went 3 and out. We went 3 and out. They went 3 and out. 4 possessions in a row. So nothing hurt there. And you would have liked, obviously, if we would have scored, yada, yada, yada. But same with them.
Mm-hmm.
So it was close. It was a good game to kind of get the Mafia warmed up for the year. It was warm. It was a beautiful night. Couldn't ask for anything better. Thursday night, squish the fish, 10-point victory at home. But I think in the first half, there was options for us to get up big, and it could have been a whole different story and not close and what everyone thought it was going to be in the first place. And I don't think we were very far from that. I think we were the ones controlling the game.
Yeah, I guess you're absolutely right about that, is that we were definitely in control of the game. It's interesting, Sheet, because when you look at, even like tonight, you got a rivalry game, on the Thursday night broadcast tonight with the Seahawks and the Cardinals. It just seems like there's always just a little bit something different when you're bringing those teams that know you and stuff like that. And we definitely know the Dolphins familiar, and they do as well. And Tua and the whole nine, and this concussion history and knocking them out. So I wasn't too surprised to see that it stayed close, but it was a little bit too close for my comfort. That's all.
Yeah, one thing you, as a Bills fan, what you get used to is the Bills not taking care of business like you expect them to at times, right? You say, okay, this is Miami team. We're at home. They're really Tyreek Hill and Tua making comments that is just not unsavory. The coach looking lost at the podium, and you're like, okay, if we got all this team chemistry and we one of the elite teams in the league, and it's in, at our stadium, we're at home, we should dominate this team. And what you get used to as a Bills fan, the Bills kind of have an inclination to playing down to their competition, and you just get pissed off while you're watching the game. But at the end or throughout the game, you wasn't worried about it. He was like, at the end of the day, the Bills going to take care of business, and it's just going to be one of those games that you're just like, man, what is up with this team? Why can't they just take care of business when they're supposed to?
Yeah, it's interesting because that leads to it as we transition to this Sunday before we do our vibe check to end the show. It's funny because you're not going to get much different, DT, this week in respects to I mean, an opponent, what are they coming in 16 and a half, 17? I heard somewhere it was the spread. And I'm like, oh my God. I think it's obviously the biggest spread of the year so far, but New Orleans coming into town, DT. Listen, I might have a certain way that I want to see them play. And she just kind of spoke to it a little bit, where I want them to bury teams that don't belong on the field with them. I want them to come out, put their foot on the throttle, and kind of step on their neck. That's not necessarily how Joe Brady has it really, orchestrated in the way that he runs his little everybody eats offense and running the ball. They're obviously the leading rushing team in the NFL. DT, I don't see any scenario that we could be walking to our cars if you're there at walking out from the Ralph on Sunday where we're losing that game. I just don't see a way. Now, obviously, turnovers are a great equalizer. The Bills don't turn the ball over. Obviously, silly penalties and stuff like that. Bills are not really a penalized team, DT. I don't see really a map for New Orleans kind of staying in this game and hanging around for 4 quarters, let alone winning it, regardless if I prefer a different strategy from Joe Brady or not.
Well, you're not getting 4 digits on the money line plus 1,000 for the New Orleans Saints on Sunday. Even in college, on the college slate, it's going to be tough to find that, plus 1,000. So, and these dudes get paid millions of dollars to play on the other side of that football. So Absolutely. That really puts into perspective is, yes, maybe the Dolphins game, people were a little critical, but it's a 10-point division win. And now coming in, you're still a 16-point favorite against this team. Like, it's not like, the world was like, you played a tight game with the Dolphins, it's now under 10 with the Saints. Like, no, everyone knows we're still dominant and knows what we're capable of. And the schedule right in front of us. I know you say it all the time. The team can't look forward, but hell, we can, Rob.
We can. You don't play for them. Hell yeah, I can.
So you go, the New Orleans Saints, probably the worst team in the NFL. Then you go home with the rivalry jerseys. Then you go Monday night to a team that just got blanked by Carolina, 30-0. Then you go on a bye. Then you go to Carolina, and they're not losing in front of us at the very least, Rob. Not us. Can't do it to us. Can't do it to us. So all these wins stacked up before you even see Kansas City. It would be extremely disappointing if they aren't undefeated going into Kansas City. And if we're winning this game by 10 points and Josh Allen really don't do shit and just kind of chills and nobody gets hurt and we keep rolling and we're 7-0 and we're just kind of chilling, why wouldn't we want that, right? We want to peak at the right time. So I agree, like it's exciting and we want to see these ball out games and we will trounce these teams. Like Sunday, probably a pretty good chance we're putting up 45 and Josh Allen doesn't see the fourth quarter and I'm perfectly fine with all of that. But if we can get to that point, get to that Chiefs game and be undefeated and not even be in our bag, like that's the point. It's the long season. It's the playoffs. We can't make it through. It's that 1 inch we can't get. And if we can just kind of get there and then keep working up, and I think they are. But we've showed improvements in every game, and I'm excited to for the trouncing on Sunday. So yes, it's okay to be critical, but this you gotta respect. It's a 10-point division win last week. This week is gonna be a lot more, I think, obviously.
Yeah. Sheed, is there a path that you could see the Bills getting upset? Because I really don't have. I can't formulate it in my mind. I really can't. And I like Spencer Rattler. I think.
Do you though? You do. You like Spencer Rattler?
He's all right. He's okay. He's not dog shit, but I mean, he's okay. I know there's worse.
Close.
There's worse quarterbacks in the league than him. Listen, Sheed, what can you formulate a game plan that we lose this game? I can't really. I
don't. I think the chemistry for winning for all teams coming into Buffalo or the Bills playing are the same. Keeping Josh Allen in the pocket, limiting James Cook, getting pressure on the Bills quarterback. And there's nobody on their roster. There's nothing that I've examined in terms of the Saints that tell me that they can do that, right? They got to get lucky. The Bills got to play outside of their normal character of control. They had 25 straight games of winning a turnover battle. In order for the Saints to be in this game, the Saints have to make the Bills turn the ball over, playing out of character. I call this a body bag game, right? This should be a total blowout. I just don't see how the Saints can do it. There's no path, right? It's like you can put it in your navigation system. There's no route that can get you to the destination.
Just spinning.
Yeah, you're just spinning in, like my man DT just said. It's just exercise in fruition. It's just not the reality of the situation, as I like to say. I see a Bills big win. I like the spread.
Oh my goodness, it's interesting. Now, listen, I know that DT talks about it, and we've kind of all just kind of put ourselves out there because I just can't see it. But there is something to be said about a team that gets blown out the week before and stuff like that. And I know that Seattle embarrassed the Saints last week, so I do think that you'll get at least a good effort. We know that the Saints, they beat us a lot and stuff like that. Obviously, they've never beat us with Josh Allen. So again, I expect the Bills to take care of business. Now, as we transition, tonight's episode is presented by Taste of Buffalo Pizzeria here in Huntersville, North Carolina, where I am in Charlotte. Listen, my boy DT gets all of the great food. I'm always jealous. Every time I come home, I got to hit up all my spots like Franco's and like Partners. I got to hit up all my spots, man. Jim Steakout. Listen, I'm trying to tell you, Taste of Buffalo Pizzeria down here. My girl Jen Battaglia, her family, they are running an authentic Buffalo shop down here. They got all your stinger subs. They got all the pizza, the right dough, the thick dough. Listen, we getting some tonight. I promise you, everybody that misses the Buffalo food down here in Charlotte, where I am, if you miss Buffalo food, head on over to Taste the Buffalo Pizzeria. They will get you right. The wings are right, crispy. Everything is right. It'll make you feel like you're right back in Western New York. Now, as we transition, the reason I had you on tonight, Sheed, I really needed, I wanted to talk. I wanted to kind of chop some things up, and I wanted to kind of get your opinion on it because I've been having it's been an interesting week. DT he's kind of secretly dry snitching on me. I was one of the people that were complaining. Now, I wasn't complaining that we won. 10-point divisional win. He is absolutely right. Here's what kind of got this episode started and rolling, and it happened all the way back on Monday. And I kind of got fed up where I had to call out Sal Capaccio I thought it was the other day. It was a couple of days ago, and I was like, man, enough is enough. I got to get this off my chest.
Yeah.
He came on the radio and on WGR, and they're talking about the Miami game, and it had been the weekend. Obviously, we got a chance to watch the Sunday games and the Monday night game. So it was all the way, I think it had to be on Monday. And he had the nerve to call us spoiled. Now, listen, he didn't call all of the Mafia spoiled, so I don't want to misrepresent him or anything like that. But he said, of course, the Bills Mafia is spoiled. Now, DT and I have been over this many, many times before over the years. This is season 5 of Nickel City Crew. We covered this shit back in season 3 and season 2, that it was okay. What I had always said, and DT concurred, it is okay for us to raise our expectations as members of the Mafia. Here's what I mean by that, Sheen, is that we don't have to compare ourselves to the drought anymore. We don't have to compare our coaches to previous coaches of the drought anymore. That's not necessary to do. What that is pearl clutching. What that is if anytime you see a Bills fan and you say, man, I'm really disappointed we lost, and they say their response is, yeah, but would you want to go back to the drought? I instantly know you just gave me a tell. I instantly know that you are a drought Bills fan. You know what it's like to go through the dark days, and now you're still pearl clutching. You're still holding on to the fact that, man, but things are so much better now. I have water now. I'm not in the desert now. I understand that we're out the desert. We are out the wilderness. I get it. We are not wandering through the desert anymore. However, I'm allowed to still want the best product from my team when I know that they are capable of more. So I didn't trash the Bills or anything like that last week on Twitter, but I was not as happy with how close everything was because the pass rush was almost non-existent, didn't really touch Tua or affect him. He was actually scrambling, which is something that I swear they don't want him to do down there in Miami with all his concussions. Talk to me, Sheed, because anytime somebody tells me that I'm spoiled, I get sensitive. I don't like hearing that I'm spoiled because I expect greatness when I know that greatness is available for my team. Speak to it if you can.
Yeah, I think you're on point, man. I think, as a logical person,
y'all can tell me. I mean, I know DT was kind of just dry stitching on me, so I can take it both ways.
Yeah, I don't think we're spoiled, right? I think what our desire is and what we're just bleeding blue for is a Super Bowl win, right? This is not this is a what have you done for me lately kind of league, right? Mm-hmm. And with that being said, they haven't gotten a job done, right? Okay, we experienced the AFC East championships. We experienced what it tastes like to get primetime games, to be featured on many shows and to be featured as one of the NFL's premier teams. And it's been that way for like 5 years now. So the desire to win is not being spoiled. It's the desire for your favorite team to finally reach that pinnacle of the sport and to raise that Vince Lombardi trophy. And I don't know what Sal Capaccio is talking about being spoiled. And that's why I started the Mob Files. I started the Mob Files because I seen too many psychopaths just kind of clamoring for Sean McDermott. Oh, he did this for us. He brought us out the job. What more could y'all want? What more could y'all want out the coach? He's a lead. No, we want a championship. This ain't about being spoiled. This ain't about overeating at the table. This is about winning a championship. So yeah, we're on the same wave.
DT, you kind of dry snitched on me. I know you weren't doing it, on purpose because you didn't know my Twitter escapades this week, but like it was building up in me, DT. It bothered me for Bill's bothered. I've got kids and I've got real life stuff, but I'm talking about sports wise. It was bothering me for like 2 days. I was like, I can't believe this MF came on the radio and called us spoiled because a couple fans had called in. They had complaints. The pass rush wasn't that good. Oh, Josh didn't have to really do anything. That it could have gone another way. And we just talked about had it not been for a punt block roughing the kicker, it could have gone a different way. So all fans were kind of doing was just voicing their displeasure over some of the things. They weren't saying that it was a bad thing that we won the game by 10 points. What do you think about it, DT? It bothered me, and that's why I wanted to do the episode the way that I'm doing it tonight for the vibe check, because we're getting ready to talk about the conference, and I feel great about the Bills, but I don't like being told, and you know how sensitive I get about that. I don't like to be told I'm spoiled because I expect greatness, man. We've got the best quarterback on the planet, I feel like, right now. He's playing better than Mahomes these last couple of years. He's better than Lamar. We see that head-to-head. I think that we've got a unicorn as a quarterback, and I just want to see greatness. Doesn't mean he has to throw for 350 yards every game, but it does mean that I know that he's capable of more. I know that this offense is capable of more, and I know that they've been scoring their 30. So I have to shut up a little bit. But DT, I did that shit rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, that's fine.
Three points, 3 games over 30 points. Yes, but
no problem.
I agree. One, Capaccio, a little soft in that. Capaccio's a little soft in that. He works very closely with the team, and since Josh Allen has made this team good, Capaccio thinks he's a part of that a little bit, and he expresses that. I like Sal, but my one critique on him is you can never he will never really criticize. He's so afraid to say something bad to walk into that building and be like, "Oh, you were talking shit about us, Sal," and he's so afraid of that because he's come up on the coattails with his team. And granted, great. I went to school for journalism. To be the sideline reporter of a Josh Allen Buffalo Bills team, that's a dream. So I'm not coming at him anything like that. I just think, Capaccio is that's his MO. That's just kind of what he does. And I don't agree with it at all. I mean, being spoiled, I agree. I don't like being called spoiled on that, because you can raise expectation. I talked about some opportunities for them to kind of blow the doors open in the first half, and they didn't, and then it was tight. And then, okay, let's be critical of this defense. 3rd and long, multiple times, we can't get off the field.
Couldn't get off the field.
In the AFC Championship game, when inches matter, you got to get off the field on 3rd down, and we haven't proven we can do that. And now this year, it's happening in weeks 1, 2, and 3, and well, not really 2, but 1 and 3, very clearly. Yes, you can be concerned, you can be critical, I agree, because we are not talking about just the Dolphins game. We are not talking about just Derrick Henry running all over our ass in week 1. We're talking about 4th and inches in the AFC Championship game when you're scoring 27 points on the road. You got to win that. And that's what we're talking about. And if our defense doesn't let up 3rd and 14 4 times, we're not even in a conversation where we got to get a 4th and an inch. So we're not bitching because of the Dolphins game. We can be critical and bitch because we haven't got that inch, and there's been reasons why we haven't got it, and then we're kind of showing those reasons are still a thing, even though we're 3-0 and killing teams, whatever, but it's still prevalent that we can. So we can critique, we can be fine. We're not talking about the Dolphins game, Sal. Yeah. We're talking about the AFC Championship, and if this shit comes back to bite us,
where we want to go,
why weren't we addressing it in week 3 and 4 and 5? And I can get with that.
And with everything going on with the First Amendment in this country, we can be allowed to say what's on your mind at least about football. You can't. You
At least.
cannot have an authoritarianship out here.
I know, and he's
football.
not. And like
Yeah.
DT said, I like Sal and Cleve Hill product. That listen, I don't have any problem. The spoiled part was the part that, because I've heard that before, and DT and I have addressed that on. I swear we have addressed it on Nickel City Crew before, because that's what fans would tell. Oh, well, Josh Allen's better than Ryan Fitzpatrick, or Josh Allen's better than Alex Van Pelt. Like, who gives a shit? Like, I'm comparing Josh Allen to his contemporaries, to his peers right now. You know what I mean? And as he was coming up on his ascension. And the same thing
you have to have a compromise though with that to be able to survive, right? Or you'll drive yourself nuts, right? You have to be okay being critical, but you also have to enjoy. We have the best quarterback maybe ever, and we're 3-0, and we're going into a Saints as 17-point favorites. And yes, we're not all the way in our bag, but it's still the Bills and every Sunday, and it's fun. So like in that middle ground of like, all right, we're holding them accountable. And that's, I think, if I'm the Bills, I want a fan to be right like us. Like, I want a fan to be critical of us, because we're as critical of ourselves as anybody. Like, we want a championship more than anybody. So you're in that film room on tomorrow looking at like, holy crap, we just got busted on 3rd and 14. Nobody was even close to Jalen Waddle here. Nobody was like, we're not the only one. You don't think they're flipping out in the film room, and because we called into GR and say it that we're spoiled? No. So I get that happy medium of enjoying it, as well as being able to, I know ball, I'm knowledgeable on this, so I can also critique it, and that's I think the most logical place.
I think that's perfect too.
I think that's perfect.
I would say, a great point DT you made. What I find myself doing sometimes is like, we got to find those moments to enjoy the game, right?
Absolutely,
because it's a beautiful thing.
Absolutely, I agree. Hey, listen, well then that's a perfect transition to the way that I named this episode. Let's get a little vibe check. If we start to go 30,000 foot view and we take a step back, the Bills Mafia, Nickel City Crew, one of the last 3 undefeated teams in the conference. Ourselves, we've got the Chargers and the Colts. Now, fellas, I don't know about y'all, but the Colts are going to have to show me something for about another 4 or 5 weeks before I buy a ticket on that train, because I do not believe that shit. Daniel Jones looks like a completely different quarterback. So shout out to Shane Steichen. He's clearly drawn up some different plays. But I know that Brian Dable knows offense, because our quarterback is a product of Brian Dable and his tutelage. So I don't know what the hell's going on over there. Maybe there's something with Elmo's Steakhouse or something. I don't know what Daniel Jones is doing. Maybe he got
Indy, baby. Yeah.
I got no idea what's going on in Indianapolis, but they're 3-0, and they are literally the number 1 offense in the league. What are your thoughts on the Colts? We'll start with Chief, because this shit feels like fool's gold all over it, but the stats are the stats.
Yeah.
The number 1 offense.
Well, you look at who they played. They played Tennessee, they played Miami, and then they beat one quality team in Denver, right? So how much they can you right now, the statistics tells you that Baltimore Ravens is the worst team in the league. They're 32nd on defense, 32nd in giving up rush. So we need some more evidence. We need a larger body of evidence to draw a conclusion, an educated conclusion. Right now, a 3-week sample, it just isn't big enough for you to say, yo, Daniel Jones is the real deal. Now, Jonathan Taylor, on the other hand,
he's always been a beast. Yeah,
that you just said it. 36 points a week in my fantasy. This dude. Indiana Jones is playing decent, but Jonathan Taylor and the offense had weapons, and Dan Jones is doing his thing. I mean, Tyler Warren's a beast, the rookie out of Penn State. That dude's a monster. And and Michael Pittman has had a good career, and people gave up on him. He's on every waiver there was in fantasy football the last couple of weeks, and now people are picking him up like hotcakes. So they've always been decent. Quentin Nelson, one of the best offensive linemen in the league. Defensively, they invested. They went out and got a bunch of free agents this year in their defensive backfield, especially. They have the DeVorest Bunker still killing it in the middle, and so the roster's not bad. And that was always kind of the scary thing. If Anthony Richardson was about to be a dog, like the Colts might be a problem, and he wasn't.
Josh Allen Jr.
And so boom, and Dan Jones comes in and is doing what he's supposed to do. But we'll see how it rolls. I mean, that division looks booty cheeks. So
The other undefeated team that's remaining in the AFC conference is the Los Angeles Chargers, led by John Harbaugh. Go blue. I'm a Michigan fan. I mean, listen, he's won everywhere he's went, fellas. He's never been a loser, and I always knew that if he could get Herbert to play his style of play and play better, I knew that they would be dangerous because I know what he's capable of as a coach, being a Michigan fan. What I did not see is that they were going to get ready to open it up. They are letting Herbert DT throw this thing
Flip
all
it.
over the field like Dable used to let Josh throw it. They are letting him throw that bitch all over the field. That has been surprising. Obviously, with Greg Roman as an offensive coordinator, I figured they would just try to run the rock. Now they've got Najee Harris, who's just been out for the year. Last year, last game he gets hurt with the Achilles. They are throwing that thing, and I mean, I don't know, could they be a big threat? They are going to have to be heard from, I think, by the time this is all said and done. And playoffs come around the corner. I really do feel that way.
Yeah, and then in that tough division, and we'll see how they prevail. But Herbert looks great. This whole offensive, like the Lad McConkey coming in, Quentin Johnston finally getting a rhythm, and then man, the man don't call him old. Keenan Allen still balling, and Herbert's literally on 3rd and long, just hucking it up to him in the end zone like he's a 4th year in his prime. Like,
it's
so
crazy.
yeah, I'm gonna hope for some cannibalization over there, but. If it's would I rather play the Chargers or the Chiefs, I'm still picking the Chargers, but it looks like they do finally. They've always kind of had that roster and never.
Listen, Sheed.
Yeah.
What do you think of the Chargers? Listen, I'm a Michigan fan, so I know about Harbaugh, and I've seen his work with the Niners and stuff like that. He's a winner, man. Like, so I know a lot of people like to make fun of him, but because he's quirky, but he's a winner. Like, he wins everywhere he goes.
Yeah, I like the Harbaughs as coaches, as players. They are winners, as you stated. I like what he's doing with the Chargers. I think the Chargers are here to stay. I think Herbert is a bona fide MVP candidate. I really think that at the end of the season, the Chargers aren't going to charge. I feel like the Chargers is going to be right there at the end when it all shakes out. What I don't want to see is the Chargers coming to Buffalo, right? So they kind of like, I was talking about this on the Mom Files. They kind of like might be brewing to be our worst nightmare. Like, we finally get the number one
the Chiefs.
And everything. And then Herbert coming here on the heater and Harbaugh and that defense is clicking. So, I really think the Chargers is a real team that's going to have to be reckoned with, and they're going to be there at the end of the season.
I agree. Go ahead. DT.
Yeah, and just what we talked about with the Colts of like we're gonna have to see more. I mean, the Chargers, yes, the Chiefs maybe aren't as good this year, but took down the Chiefs week 1 in Brazil. A lot of factors there. The Raiders didn't look good at all when they beat in week 2, and who knows what Denver's about. Bo Nix is kind of sporadic. So yes, credit to the 3 wins, but I'm still gonna have to see more. None of those teams they beat, other than the Chiefs, obviously, I'm like, really worried about.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because now we've got this big matchup of 1-3 versus 1-3 on Sunday. Who would have thought that the Chiefs and the Ravens are both 1-3? I mean, now there's been a big debate on all the shows this week. Who should we root for? This and that. I don't give a gosh darn, because guess what? The Chiefs, we still get a chance to play them. They still have to come here. So even if they win and they go on a little heater and they start to find their way, whatever the case may be, as some guys get healthy, Worthy's coming back soon, and I know Rice is coming off a suspension soon. I don't care. They still got to come see us. We're already up on Baltimore now by 2.5 games with that head-to-head. I don't care. I just want to see a game where they both get beat up. We never pray for injuries or anything like that. But listen, I just want to go see a hard-fought game after we get our nice little easy victory. Who would have thought 1-3 versus 1-3, Sheet? I mean, I did not see this coming. I know that I don't respect the Chiefs. I thought that they were garbage last year and got lucky, but I didn't see this coming, man. And
well, they both
Kelsey
had tough.
Reed. I mean, what is going on?
I think they both had tough schedules, right? Early on in the season, they both then played some quality teams. I think Baltimore is still Baltimore. I think Baltimore is going to be there at the end when it shakes out. Now, Kansas City, I am not sure, but I still think, and I think most people believe that Kansas City is going to be able to right the ship. Both of them been
really,
I think Kansas City is going to be right there in terms of this matchup. Who I want to see, like you said, it really doesn't matter as a Bills fan because both of them is teams you would rather both miss the playoffs, right? and so this game, I would rather see Lamar and them go down. I think because Kansas City's battle tested, they got the adversity, they know how to come up out of the woods.
Yeah.
We don't know whether the Ravens have that gumption to
I
come
like
out
that.
of the woods.
Oh,
Yeah.
because they're always front runners.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, they always front runners.
I like that.
Interesting. DT,
That's a
what you
great
think?
point.
What do you
That's
think?
a great point. I kind of like that. I like that point a lot. Yeah, we know, like, I don't care who you're kidding. The Chiefs are going to be in the playoffs some way or another, and they're going to be somewhat. We can't ever pass them up until we beat them. So we know where they're going to be there. But yeah, that's right. We don't know if Lamar can be 1-3 and then have a tough schedule in front of him and still find a way to come back and get a 2 or 3 seed. You're hoping that division's low. That's what he's hoping.
I was going to say, but the division looks garbage. So,
but you never know. Like look at the Browns stealing one from the Packers. And they steal one from the Ravens late in the year, and that gives them their 6th loss or something. Like that's big. So I like that point sheet. What I'm hoping for is just I don't want to see anybody find anything on Sunday. Like I don't want Xavier Worthy to come back in some weird gadget formation and he has 200 yards. Like I don't want somebody to get back in a rhythm on offensively for the Ravens or the defense to figure it out and shut people out. Like I don't want anybody on either team to figure anything out. Like whatever happens in the game, hard fought, battle tested, whatever. But I don't want anybody going off and somebody being like, "Oh, damn, this is going to be a weapon for us in the future."
It's funny that you put it that way because I like that. Let's just have a slog fest. I think I'll have to steal that one. A nice little slog fest that nobody finds anything, nobody figures anything out, and that'll be something that'll be interesting to watch. Now it's funny because listen, I'm looking and I've got my standings up. It's the consensus right now. The NFC is ahead of the AFC, and I think that's fair when you look at the conference. Now, again, Sheet is right. His point earlier, we don't have a large sample size, so obviously we got to let maybe another month go by, and we'll really have a true testament. But our division looks garbage. The AFC North, Burrow is out almost for the whole year. Pittsburgh looks like, Rodgers does not look like he can move at all. Once again, like that 1 year from last year with the Jets and the year before. Cleveland, like you said, they just got their first win, but that was really lucky. The AFC South, we already talked about the Colts. The Jags, I have no idea. Houston looks like dog shit, and I could have swore that I put them on a parlay to win a division, and I'm like, man, I'm regretting that already. Like, they look horrible offense. I think they're averaging 12 points a game. I saw on ESPN today. Tennessee, obviously the growing pains that you're going to have with a rookie. AFC West, we talked about the Chargers. Raiders are the Raiders. Denver, surprisingly, is 1-2. And then we just talked about the Chiefs. DT, Sheed, vibe check. This, come on, man. This should be the 1 seed. Why should this not be the year? This should be it. I understand. You are absolutely right, Sheed. We need some more sample size. But boy, our schedule ain't getting no harder. DT talked about that. We should be coming into that Kansas City game undefeated, 1 loss at the worst, 6-1. I don't know where you're getting that loss, but weird shit happens. Maybe it's down in Atlanta. Sheed, what's up? This should be the 1 seed. This should be the year.
And that's what the consensus says is that, the Bills should win the 1 seed. They should get home field advantage, things of that nature. But like I said earlier, the Bills have a way of pissing you off.
No, but not with this schedule, right?
They have a way. DT, am I lying? The Bills have a way of finding themselves down in Atlanta or the Philadelphia Eagle game or something of that nature. And Baltimore's schedule after I think 2 more weeks gets pretty easy.
It clears up. It does.
Yeah. And so I think it's going to be a race to the 1 seed, but I agree that this should be the year for the 1 seed for the Bills.
DT, come on, bring me that energy.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that a little because yes, like I'm like talking about 1 seed, but then my thought is like, oh, this is the year we're the 1 seed and the Chiefs are the 6 or the Chiefs are the 7, and like already thinking about our demise of the 1 seed. So like I can definitely, see where you're talking about where they find a way somehow, but it's right in front of us. These games, it's not Josh Allen year 3 and you don't know if he's going to go off or he's not going to go off. We're a 17-point favorite on Sunday. We're a 17-point favorite in an NFL game on Sunday.
That's true.
And so it's, yes, things happen, but even still 7-1, there's Baltimore, the Chiefs are losing Sunday. Like
one of them's going to 1-3.
6-1, 7-1. We're 4-5. We're 4 games up on probably both of them, at least 3. And your Halloween costume is going to be 6 in a row division titles. We're going to have the division on Halloween.
Yeah,
It's going to be a month. We had it on Thanksgiving last year, and it was
and we
early.
thought it
We're
was
going
crazy
to we're
early.
going to have it in week 8. We're going to have it on Halloween, and
Yeah.
it's so yes, they do find a way, but like also I think the universe is like they can't find a way this year. They might be able to find a way as the 1 seed and something happens and screw it up, but
Yeah.
I don't think they don't find a way to the 1 other than an utter collapse. And I just don't see that happening in year 8 with 17. It's just not, we don't lose games by more than 1 score. Like it, so it's like the collapse isn't going to happen. Like a couple games, like, so I don't know. It's teed up. It's all
seems like
there.
it's
I
right
think
there.
destiny might finally be on our side. Like we have favors behind us now, and we have the best quarterback in the world. So
We done
let's
paid our
just
dues. I mean,
just
what
get it.
else do
Just
you
get it.
want from
Just
the
get the 1.
Mafia? What else do you want? We lost 4 Super Bowls in a row. What else do you want? I mean, what else do you want? We have gone through the pain. We went through a 17-year playoff drought in a sport that is designed on parity with a salary cap, where they give the worst teams the highest, the best picks in the draft. We've paid our damn dues, man. I think that it's got to be our year in respects to that 1 seed. That's the only thing that we haven't accomplished. So I'm usually the one that's more pessimistic, and she coming over here on our show as a damn guest and trying to rain on my parade. I mean,
I think he's just saying, because of the 4 Super Bowls, because of the 17-year drought, because we're good and we haven't made it yet. Yeah, let's not, we're 3 games in. We're 3 games in.
Pessimist. It's just at the end of the day,
what
what scares me is that back end of the defense, man. Against Miami, against the Jets, we saw them be able to protect Cole Bishop, be able to protect Taylor Rapp last game. They didn't have to make game or touchdown saving plays in those last 2 games. So, it's going to be. It's going to be a ride, man. And like you said early in the show, we just got to find a way how to enjoy it.
Listen, that you stole my thunder before we begin to transition and get to the Nickel City Crew Tailgate Report. That was the last vibe check that I had for you guys, because I was talking with DT pre-show and I'm driving home from work, and I was like, listen, I want to do a vibe check tonight because I am worried still about this damn defense. Now, DT already talked about it a little bit earlier, how we still not getting off the field on 3rd down. If you didn't know, Bills are number 1 in pressure percentage. However, we are not number 1 in sacks or anything like that. We don't actually touch the physical quarterback. We're not bringing him down. In addition to that, a stat that blew my mind earlier in the week was that, again, 3 games in, I know it's a small sample size, we're the number 2 blitz team in the NFL behind Miami. And that blew my mind because, McDermott notoriously doesn't blitz. He's always, trying to get that front 4 pressure and then playing on the back 7. I already told DT pre-show. I am so fed up with Sean McDermott. I am so fed up with Brandon Beane pouring assets into the defense instead of the offense that I already told y'all before the season. I told Nickel City Crew, they know where I stand. They have got to show me the baby this year. It has got to be a year where the defense is not the reason we lose in one of these key games in the playoffs. I don't know, man. Nothing I've seen from the defense so far besides Joey Bosa, who's been a pleasant surprise, staying healthy, showing some of his old youthful form. I don't know, man. I mean, Ed Oliver obviously had a great first game. Other than that, I don't get excited about shit that I see on defense, man. Rousseau got paid. I know he's not a sack artist. Everybody's been reminding us that on WGR all week. I get it. And he's paid half of the sack artist money. I get it. I don't even notice that he'd be out there, man. I don't know, man.
When I watched the football game with my family, they call me Bill Belichick because I show no emotions. No matter if the Bills throw a 70-yard touchdown or get an interception, have pick 6, kick a game-winning field goal, I walk away. I'm off to the next game. I'm like, we're on to Cincinnati. Right?
Oh Lord.
That's just my vibe because I'm always in my mind thinking about February. Right, or January, late January.
That's right.
What can trip us up? Mm-hmm. And the one thing I'm like, damn it, Derrick Henry come back in December.
I don't want to see him.
Yeah,
I don't want to see him no more.
The Bills have to get the defense right, and in order for me to validate that, is I got to see a real test along the line where we say, okay, now we're a good run stopping defense, and they're reliable in stopping the run. I
And the
think
back
that'll
end.
change my
And the back end too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
DT, I mean, what's your faith level that they can get it right, like Sheet's talking about? Because I don't. I mean, you already know how I feel about McDermott, man. So I don't know. I mean, I just sit back and watch.
Well, opportunity. I mean, Ed Oliver, Matt Milano been out a third of the season so far, more than the third for Ed. And Ed basically won us the game. 17 won us the game week 1, but Ed won us the game with the strip. So those guys, the Bash brothers we talked about, are coming back.
Mm-hmm.
It does Harrison. I think we need to be very conservative on. I think we heard about it this week.
Sean McDermott said if.
Yes.
He said if, and then everybody in that cell Kapatri
But
said,
that's
don't
also
think
we
of the
also
DT.
had
Like,
to not we also had to not think he was coming back because he can practice next week. He's coming back in week 5. Like, we also had to understand that.
That's true.
And
That's true.
so I think that's not really one of my concerns. But if it is, I think Dorian Strong needs to get more playing time at the cornerback position to see if he's better than Tre'Davious White. Like, that's straight up. Like, that's got to happen, I think. And then that's what we know moving forward. And I'm not saying I'm trying to bench 27. I'm just saying, like, you can't just say 20. He's it. You can't just say he's it. Like, you got the rookie in here. You're playing rookies elsewhere. You got to put him in the game. So,
I think so
Deion Walker made the play of the game, against Thursday. So these rookies are making plays. I think Dorian Strong needs to get in there, and we need to see straight up if he's better than 27 right now in the short term.
I agree.
In the long term, Bash Brothers coming back, Deion Walker gets a little more comfortable, Ed Oliver gets in his zone. DaQuan Jones, I'm not just being a homer, because I got the connect with Quan, but he's got one of the best PFFs on the team. And yes, he's got pushed around week 1, everyone did, but he made some plays against Miami Thursday too. He was a plug that when this defensive line wasn't there, 92 was in it. So there are bright spots. I think it's going to get better. There's only additions coming. Hopefully no subtractions, but only additions coming. And my main point, I think I need to see Dorian Strong get a lot more reps at that CB2 slot.
Man, listen, as we begin to transition tonight and wrap up the show, just listen, shout out and salute. We really do appreciate you, Sheet. Check out my boy Sheet. He's at Sheet808 on Twitter. One of my best friends on Twitter. Again, a kindred spirit that I found in respects to McDermott, truther, and not just kneeling and genuflecting at the altar. Listen, I appreciate you, Sheet. Check him out, the Mob Files. Plug yourself. When you guys go live, let them know where to catch you, man.
Yeah, you catch me on Wednesday. I'm generally 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I look forward to watching Nickel City Crew. I look forward to bringing the truth. That's why I brought all this equipment. And somebody got to tell the truth out here in these streets because Sal Capaccio and them, they just trying to keep
They're
their
a little
credentials.
soft, man.
Everybody trying
we
to
got
their
we got
credentials.
some personal shit with WGR, so that's a different thing.
Follow me on Mob Files. DT, is good to talk to you. Rob Crippen, thank you for inviting me on the show. Nickel City Crew, man, y'all one of the best in the business. Keep doing it.
Man, I appreciate you tonight. Now, I know she's got to bounce out of here, but we do appreciate your time tonight. Listen, DT, it's funny because, I mean, the Nickel City, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Nickel City Crew Tailgate Report is presented by Queen City Vintage. Please head on over to Queen City Vintage. Listen, our buddy Nick, he's doing his thing. I just heard some cool stuff that he's got planned coming up for the away game when DT comes down to me in Charlotte. Listen, head on over to Queen City Vintage. They're right there on Elmwood across from 40 Thieves. They've got everything that you need. There's nothing else that you could possibly want for nostalgic Buffalo Bills, Buffalo Sabres gear, hats, jackets, anything you need. Check them out. They've got you covered, and you will look nice and I think it's clean that the kids say. I don't know, DT. I can't keep up with all the lingo, but they say they look clean or fresh. I don't think they even use fresh anymore. Check them out. Listen, the Nickel City Crew Tailgate Report. DT, that drip, that's what it is. That's one of the things. Nate be saying all the slang. I can't keep up with Nate, man. Listen, last week you were there at the stadium, enjoying it. We kind of talked about that in the beginning about it because I know you were the DD and you were kind of had to be responsible and make sure everybody got home safe. Tell us about the experience at the game afterwards as well, and then lead us into what you got going on this weekend.
Yep, beautiful night as we talked about on the report last week. It literally was hot. It was hot. Like I was sweating walking to the seat. Stadium was nice, fluent. It was loud. The tailgate was nice. I saw a lot of people. It was the company. My company had some stake in it. It was like a leader for United Way. If you donate a certain amount, you get a ticket, right? So there's a lot of people from work, and I'm the token the token mafia member, the token Nickel City crew. Everyone knows DT is serious about the Bills, and so like
Yeah,
everyone
right.
was there from like Syracuse and Rochester, and I was like, I gotta go, gotta get on the pod, you know. And I kind of felt celebrity-esque, Rob, if you will. Like
I
it was
love it. I love it.
good to come share a hot dog with you, but I got to get back to the deal. So,
I know that's right.
you know, and then went with the you know the boys Brett and BT and all them, and had a good time. They park up in that Prohibition lot right on the corner, so that's just action. Everyone's walking by all day, and you're seeing everything, and there's music going, and it's a nice lot. No slouch to our lot. Will always be the best. Club Dub down in the grass lot, not taking anything away, but Prohibition's a nice close second. Music going, open bar right in there. A lot of the players' wives actually are kind of in Prohibition. Joey
right there.
Bosa's
It's right there.
Joey Bosa's wife was right there, and so everyone was in action. I got into the game, beautiful night. Stadium was loud. You know, never was really fearful, but it got the job done. Got home, traffic wasn't bad. I think it was nice and fluent. Got home at a decent hour. Got home right at midnight.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
And I was like driving, so I'm going to work Friday. That's all good. But you can't just lay in your bed 20 minutes after you were just with 70,000 people.
I know, right? Yep.
You know, with the game on the line. So
adrenaline's still flowing.
Friday wasn't the best day of work. Was a little tired, but you know, at least was good the night before. Drove the boys, so I wasn't feeling bad, just a little tired. But good game overall. Beautiful weather. We're not going to get many of those where I can literally have a tank top on and be sweating, as opposed to I've been in there worried about, you know, if I'd have a hand after the game.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
So it was nice to have that. We'll take the 10-point win. Good vibes all around. No food real at this tailgate. It was just kind of we got a Jersey Mike sub to kind of tide us over, and was just kind of getting around and enjoying the sunshine. So
very nice.
This weekend we got the big wedding. We're T-minus basically a week from the big wedding. Not this weekend, but the wedding is in a week of Kai and Paige. Fellow listeners, shout out to them, and they're getting married next week. So I told myself I need to lay low because the next 4 weeks are extreme. So I think I might be heading back into town, help them out with just some wedding stuff, you know, some building stuff, some getting things organized, lay low, watch a beautiful sports weekend, folks. We're talking, if you're a golf fan, the Ryder Cup is one of the best competitions ever. USA versus Europe, the best in the world, going head to head for country pride.
That starts tomorrow, right?
Tomorrow, 7 a.m. That's ripping all Saturday, and Saturday the college football slate is insane.
Yeah, it's
We're
crazy.
talking ranked matchups all over the board. You end the night with Penn State and Oregon for the whiteout game at Beaver Stadium. You got Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Ole Miss. Loaded. The day is loaded with great games, and then we get into Sunday, 9:30 a.m. Our first morning kegs and eggs game. Minnesota Vikings.
Oh yes,
versus,
you're right.
Minnesota Vikings versus the Steelers out in Dublin. And so if I'm down, you know, helping Kai and Paige out, they're big Vikings fans. We're gonna, you know, that's gonna be a fun, you know, Sunday morning waking up, and we're right to it, and then we can ease right into that sunny 1 p.m. 1 o'clock. I'm a little. Is this a game I'd like to go to? Maybe, but you know, we'll wait until later in the year and get to a game. I'll be fine sitting this one out. Everyone go and enjoy it. This is the bring the ma game. You know, NFC 1 o'clock, sunny, good weather. Bring your mom to this.
Bring your mom. I love it. Yeah, I mean, that's awesome. You're absolutely right. I mean, I guess the ticket prices are crazy, and one of the theories is that exactly what you just said is that it's 1 o'clock. The weather is still nice. They don't have many 1 o'clock games this year. I think the next one is not till November. So it's like, I mean, that's just living the life of Josh Allen and these good Bills now. So I know that it's a hot ticket because of some of those reasons. So out there in the Mafia, please enjoy that game on Sunday. I heard the weather's going to be awesome in the 70s. So that's awesome. Down here, DT, it was slow motion. Listen, football, you can't win them all. Nate went out. We had a road game. We went to go play the Cowboys, and they thoroughly whooped our ass. It was 32-0. I wasn't happy with it. Number one thing I told Nate was that I don't care if your offensive line is garbage. I don't care what's going on with your team. I just want to see your effort. And it just seemed like there was a malaise over the whole team. The other team, the Cowboys, they were not that good, but they were more aggressive. They took it to us, and they got up early in the first half and then kind of coasted in the second half. So it was a good lesson. We had a nice ride home. I didn't yell at them or anything like that, but I just told them, listen, man, I'm not we're coming out here. You got your sister in the stands, and she's a baby. And she's, having a great time. And it was hot as hell down here in Charlotte that day. We had to get the umbrella out of the car to get some shade. I'm like, we are driving all over Charlotte for you, Nate. I got to see your effort. That's the number one thing. I don't care. You can't control your line. You can't control, missed tackles and stuff like that, but you can control your effort. So it was a good lesson for him for sure. We'll get back on the saddle. Going to pick him up, me and Quincy right now from practice. We'll get back on the saddle and hopefully get a dub for the Giants this week. Game-wise, it was chill. We were right here at the house watching the game, like I said, for that Thursday night game. And then this week, DT, I've got the whole band. I've got them all. I got them all Sunday. So like I'm figuring out how to. Okay, I got to come up with a menu. I got to make sure that the baby's okay. I got to make sure, you know what I mean? Should I put her down for a nap? If I put her down for a nap, we're going to be yelling if they score some touchdown. Maybe it's not a good thing to have a nap. Maybe I just let her just ride it out. So I'm trying to figure out logistics because it's been a long time since I had a 1-year-old at the helm. So, but yeah, Princess Ivy will be 1 next month. I cannot believe
wild, man. Crazy.
I thought I just brought her home from the hospital like last week, or maybe you could tell me, convince me a couple months ago, not a year ago. So it's pretty crazy, but she's growing like a weed and talking now. She's thinking about walking. So we'll have her decked out in her Bill stuff, and she'll probably, Dad's dad. I'll probably let her skip nap and let's watch the game with your brothers and enjoy the time. So that's, that, how dads are, man. It's the Bills, it's the mafia. We can sleep anytime. So that's really the plan down here for the Crippen household. Watch the game on Sunday, game for Nate on Saturday, and you're absolutely right. Now, one more update: Quincy started flag football.
Oh yes, he was excited about that.
He was very excited. Now, here's the wrinkle: I clicked on. I'm a coach, so they asked for his level. I put advanced because he's got his brothers and stuff like that. The damn director put him on the team play. He's supposed to be in the age group of 4 to 6. They put him on a group of kids that were like 8 to 10. And I was like, yo, what is going on? We didn't get demolished. We only lost by a touchdown, but I had a bunch of kids that were young, like Quincy. And then I had some other kids that had never played football before. So I had to get in touch with the director. I was like, listen, man, first of all, what the hell happened? Because those kids were not 6 years old. He's like, you put advanced for Quincy. So I put him and bumped him up. I was like, listen, man.
You bumped up the whole squad.
Put him on 4 to 6. I will coach the 4 to 6 team. And if the worst case scenario is that he just looks great out there and all that does is build confidence. I do not want my baby to have his first experience playing against fucking 9-year-olds and 10-year-olds that get destroyed every week. So they adjusted it. He's going to be playing for the 4 to 6 team next week. I'll coach that team and we'll be good for the rest of the season. So he had a great time. He was excited, but I mean, he couldn't like these boys are like Randy Mossing. I'm like, how old are these kids? Like, what? I didn't even understand what happened. Nobody even told me the ages. I was like, what? I signed him up for 4 to 6. These kids are not 4 to 6. So we got it all. We got it all worked out. We got soccer tomorrow for Quincy. Saturday we've got flag football for him, football for Nate, and then Sunday is the game. And Bobby's got his soccer game as well on Saturday. So we got it all. We recalibrated. It was all good. Crisis averted. But I was like, who are these kids? Randy Moss. These kids are not 6 years old. What are they feeding these kids? So I was happy to get to the bottom of it. But DT, man, listen, I'm excited. I really appreciate the vibe check tonight. Listen, I wasn't trying to talk shit about South. Listen, I just don't call me spoiled if I don't think that everything was perfect, and I might say that everything wasn't perfect. Last week's game was not perfect. I'm very happy with it. We're 3-0. Like DT said, 10-point win over a division rival. I'll take that every day of the week. But don't call me spoiled because I point out that we weren't perfect or that things didn't go like I thought it was going to go. And I don't know how DT feels about that. I know he supported me tonight because he's a great friend and a great co-host. But that was the only thing that kind of chapped my ass this week was when I was called spoiled, because I was definitely bitching about stuff, but it wasn't because I was not happy. I'm happy that we're 3-0. I want to see the defense start to step up, DT. That's about it. That's all.
That's fair. And that's fair. I mean, we're going to enjoy hopefully a 7-0 start, but it's fair to see the same problems that are messing with us late. We still see it. And, so we just got to keep moving on that. And this defense has people coming back. We got to wait and see. Let's get to 7-0, not dig too deep in the bag, build this defense better and better and better, peak at the right time, win the Lombardi. Everybody's good. Screw you, Capaccio.
You there, right? And Tom, shout out to Tom and I-86 after dark. I did not know that Ed was back at practice today, so that's good. I did not. Did you know that? I did not know that.
I did not.
I know that Epinesa was back out there, but I didn't know that the big Ed though. So shout out to Ed. You know, we've got Marcus. Shout out to him, friend of the show. So hopefully Ed gets back soon because we could definitely use somebody to plug up in the middle. Listen, out there, enjoy the game Sunday. I mean, this, like DT just said, this is bring your mom game. This is an enjoyable game. This should be an enjoyable afternoon for Bills Mafia. 1 o'clock at the Ralph. Where else would you rather be? I'm really getting ready to enjoy it this weekend. DT, I hope you enjoyed as well. I know you're running around a little bit with wedding stuff, but enjoy the game for sure. Enjoy that college football on Saturday. Listen, out there, spread love, not hate. These were my Bills thoughts said out loud. Hit them with a Go Bills, DT.
Go Bills. 4-0. 4-0.
I love it.